Welcome back to the Dynamic Duo podcast. Happy to have you. As always, I'm your host, Connor.
And I'm Jasmine.
And it has been a crazy weekend. Comic-Con is officially over, and there is so much to talk about, so let's just dive into it.
Let's do it.
So first thing, obviously, we got to talk about, we have been following this ever since the podcast started. Avatar 7 Havens came out of nowhere. We got a full trailer for it. It's a whole new show. Very interesting to release the trailer, like, the week of Avatar and The Last Airbender releasing.
Well, you would assume that they would want to ride that like same wave, but
Yeah.
it does feel weird that like they're almost like sandwiching it.
Yeah, I feel like it would usually, if anything, like the week after
Yeah.
the release. You know, now that everyone's hyped and got their like lips wet with Avatar again, it's like, oh, you like that? Well, here's more.
Here's even more.
But we do got to talk about it because people didn't really like the trailer, which I thought was interesting.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Okay.
I mean, I have heard about this show for years, and I think the premise sounds really interesting. Essentially, it's Avatar Korra supposedly failed the world and
Okay.
caused the world to like split up into 7 nations. And now there's 2 avatars supposedly, like
Okay.
they're twins. And I feel like the story kind of sets itself up in a beautiful way, especially connecting the Korra. That gives me like I can't remember their names exactly, but it's Rava and Riva or something like that, and they're like the dark and light spirits of Avatar. So if you're doing 2 avatars, my mind immediately goes to a dark avatar and a light avatar.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of the Acolyte, where it's like you have the twins, and it's like you have your dark side, your
True.
light side. Like,
True.
love that.
I know, but people don't really like the animation style, and I think that really comes from Avatar: The Last Airbender was hand drawn and then digitally enhanced. You know, same with Korra. The original Korra one shot that we got is hand drawn and then digitally enhanced. It took an insane amount of effort. This is going to be, well, this and the movie is going to be like the first times they're doing full digital. But I think it's messing with people's brains a little on like,
That makes sense.
this kind of looks like Avatar, but it's not really feeling like Avatar.
Yeah. But also, like, I feel like that's a franchise that needs to kind of grow and evolve a little bit. It's been, what, almost 20 years?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And the movie had beautiful animation. I really liked all the colors that they used in the movie. So seeing all of these colors again in the trailer, it gives me hope. And I'm very excited for it. I'm going to hold my breath for it. I know diehard Avatar fans are feeling a type of way about it, and maybe they can explain it in the comments why they're not too hyped about it. But to me, I'm excited.
Yeah. No, it should be exciting.
The one thing I guess I don't like is they clearly, I mean, Korra is a villain in this, or at least they're setting her
Yeah.
up for that. And I think it's just like she's gotten so much hate in her life already that like
Poor girl.
just feeding onto it is not great.
Yeah.
But moving on from that, we had a crazy Star Wars announcement because Star Wars Detours is actually going to be released.
This is crazy to me because I thought it was a joke when I saw it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool, whatever. But it's coming, and it's I mean, like, it gives me another reason to be excited about the museum opening up again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so hyped for this museum.
Exactly. So if you didn't know, unfortunately, this isn't going to be on streaming. It's only going to be played in the museum, which I think is so petty of George Lucas to do, but I love it. But this show was something that was in production and then got canceled because Disney bought Star Wars. And
Right.
Disney saw this and they're like, this is not going to be the first product we put out with Star Wars, and canned the whole thing. But it has lived on the internet for so long, and some of the clips that have been out are still used today in memes. And
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be great that we're actually going to be able to see it now.
I mean, the lineup for this museum is it's working on me. All the like the marketing is working on me. Like they released like I don't know if you saw this, but they have trading cards,
Yes.
and I'm like, this is bad. Like, this is like, that's the type of like catnip that like is gonna get me to go and buy multiple packs of those cards. Like, I'm ready.
Thank God we live in California because we are
right?
going out there ASAP. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so many things happened this weekend. Did you want to talk about Blade Runner?
Yeah. So there was a new Blade Runner 2099 trailer, which is like, it's just crazy to say that or think that we have new Blade Runner coming this year.
Very weird. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, and like I had heard about it. I wasn't like super excited about it. I love Blade Runner. I love Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. Like, that is one of my favorite novels of all time. So I love this world. I love the aesthetic. I'm here for it. I love Hunter Schafer.
Yeah.
She looked great in this. I am very excited. This was probably like the thing that snuck up on me the most out of San Diego Comic-Con this year because I was pretty much all on board for Doomsday,
Yeah.
Brand New Day, and I was ready to go. And then this trailer came out, and I'm like, let's go. Like, I'm so excited for it.
I did not expect this trailer at all. It does look incredible. Like the way they get the atmosphere in the Blade Runner movies, it's so crazy to me.
Yeah. The other thing too is like when they were talking about the show, they kept on hinting or talking about how
Oh wait, is it a show, not a movie?
a show.
Oh my god, I thought it was a movie.
yeah, it's a show.
Okay.
It's a series on Amazon Prime, which is kind of like a little scary, but I'm also like, you know what? Rings of Power looks great. So
Rings of Power does also look
Yeah.
great. Like
So-
Prime is cooking.
yeah. And I mean, they also have Fallout, so like they have their gems, but also like one of the things that was being said was how like the first movie was very like rainy, and then the second movie was snowy, and this is like the first time we're getting like they kept on calling it, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like sunny, but it's like still like an apocalyptic sunny. Like it doesn't look like, you know, warm and like happy. It still looks menacing and like a post-apocalyptic like future. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see more of this world, more like, you know, corners of it, and like really play around with what this world can look like.
Yeah, like to me, I love the two Cyberpunk. Because I'm already
Yeah.
thinking of Cyberpunk, because that's a bigger franchise that
Yeah.
I love. That does like this like Cyberpunk type of thing. But Blade Runner, I think, is the OGs,
Yes.
and they have nailed that aesthetic. And I think doing Prime, who goes so hard with their like sets, and then making it a show, I think we're going to see crazy things from this.
I'm excited. I hope it expands. I hope we get more from this world. It's probably one of the only like major sci-fi franchises that like hasn't really been milked.
Yeah.
Some of the other ones.
Yeah.
But like, especially in the world where we're just like rehashing IPs like left and right, like it is cool to see something like this return. And like also just the cast is stunning, and I'm so hyped to see what they do with it.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. And moving right along, I mean, Lanterns looks incredible.
Look, we were on this podcast a week ago, kind of like being hesitant about this show and like wondering what was going to happen, how they weren't showing us a whole lot.
Yeah.
Like, I think this trailer really, really like sold it for me.
Yes, I think we have to call a spade a spade. Like, it's very clearly going to be still grounded and
Yeah.
on Earth and stuff like that. But this showed us what us fans have at least been begging for. Like,
Yeah.
we have space shots, we see the suit, we see more constructs, we see Sinestro. Like, it just looks really cool.
The Sinestro reveal was something that like it literally blew my mind. Like, I was not expecting to. I mean, like, you can't do Green Lanterns without Sinestro in my book.
Yeah.
But also, like, they waited so long to show us Sinestro or even mention it that, like, I figured it was going to be just like a random, like, you know, almost like a Thanos at the end of Avengers, where it's like, you know, it's very much like a behind the curtain type villain.
Right.
And like, no, he's here. And like the monologue or the conversation that he has with Hal Jordan just to me invokes so many different storylines from the comics.
Bro.
Like, my brain was just like, ooh, we're going for it.
I mean, we have to talk about Parallax.
Yes.
Like, I feel like as soon as this trailer like dropped, all I could think about was Parallax. From
Yeah.
the way his conversation with Sinestro goes to the way he says the oath.
Yeah.
Like, there's bitterness in there. Like, I don't know. I would love to. And all my friends that went to Comic-Con, they got to go to the Lanterns panel, and they were all doing the photos of Parallax with the rings. And it's like, dude, if that could actually happen.
They're going. I think they have to go for it at this
It
point.
would be tough because obviously this is going to be our first time seeing these Green Lanterns, but that is such an iconic story. I think they could pull it off.
Yeah. The other thing too that they kept on like talking about, or at least like the trailer is making a major theme, is like whether or not John Stewart is like his replacement or partner.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that dynamic because like if you've been reading the comics, you know that there's like a whole like hierarchy when it comes to the rings, and like there's multiple lanterns from Earth.
Yeah.
And like that is very much a part of the mythos, but like it is cool to like not know where we're at.
Yes.
We're not starting at the beginning of this story. Like, we're clearly getting thrown into it. It seems like Jordan, or not Hal Jordan, but John Stewart is like, no, like he's just holding the ring for me. It's always been mine, and like I kind of love that.
I do. I love that dynamic with them. It does confuse me though, with like then you see Guy show up in the trailer, and it's like, well, why does Guy just get a ring and get to live on Earth, but these two have to like split it and like share the position? Like, So that's where it's interesting, where it's like they are doing it off the comics because we're getting a ton of Green Lanterns, but it's also like they're doing this original take, and it kind of hurts my head to think about. But there's got to be a reason. I feel like the Guardians are watching Hal. Like,
They're definitely testing him.
yeah, because if Guy can just get a ring, but John has to be the replacement, it must mean that Hal is doing something or is walking a line that they're not liking, and they are thinking of getting rid of him.
Yeah. And the other thing too that we get revealed in this trailer are that the Manhunters are part of this story, which
Yeah.
like that's crazy.
It's such a weird grab.
It's a weird grab, but it's also like, to me, it's like, oh, we're going for it. Like, we're in the weeds. We're not just like telling a top level like Green Lantern story. Like, we're getting into the minutia of like
I know,
lore.
and I feel like that, like they used that clip and that dialogue just to mess with fans, though, because I saw so many people doing reactions, going like, Martian
I think that's
Manhunter.
intentional. But I also think that
But it's like, it has to be intentional.
Yeah.
Because when they're saying it and they show the person
Yes.
transforming, the person has an X on their
yes,
chest,
it
which
looks
is.
just like, you know, John Johns' like suit.
So you can't blame anyone for thinking Martian Manhunter. And you watch this trailer and you're like, oh, damn, they're doing a Martian Manhunter story for Green Lantern.
But also, like, it wouldn't. I mean, we've been in the comic book movie world for
Yeah.
like so long, where like they kind of conflate certain themes, they conflate characters together. Like, that's nothing new.
And this is how you get Martian Manhunter into the DCU.
And like, it would be a very smart play, very smart way. And like, even the skull that we saw that like,
Yeah.
in the trailer when they're lifting it out of the ground, that looks like a Martian skull.
It really does. It had the holes going through, and
Yeah.
it just looked like it was a bigger head. Like, it reminded me so much of the Young Justice design of White Martians.
Yes.
Like, very cool.
So like, I do think that there's a world where they could, you know, bring them together and be like, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And this is just part of the story that we're gonna tell.
Because it's like you said, Manhunters is a deep cut.
It's a deep cut, but it's also like, if you're not familiar with the Manhunters, like, it's essentially when the Guardians first created, you know, their Guardians, like the Lantern Corps, they created this other version first. There's like the prototype Green Lanterns.
And they're like actual robots. Like,
Yeah. And so like, to make them organic here, make them look like the Skrulls,
Yeah.
like, or at least like give them Skrull-like abilities where they can kind of transform. Like, that is very much a Martian like trait.
And they do there's a famous run with the Manhunters like in the past 20 years, isn't there? Where they come back up. I feel like there's a run with like Guy Gardner or John Stewart, and it's just going through the history of the Guardians.
yeah.
And I think the Manhunters do come up. So maybe that's where they're going. Because it does really feel like the Green Lantern Corps doesn't feel stable in this.
No.
You know, like the Guardians seem unsure. All of the actual Lanterns seem unsure. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But point is, this trailer, like, I think won a lot of people.
I think it won a lot of people over. I think people are a lot more confident about the show now.
Yeah.
I think.
And it's just, this is what we wanted to see. Like, if it's going to be a grounded, like, more gritty show, that's fine. We just need to see that there is some level of Green Lantern mythos in this. And for the first two teasers, they were basically saying, fuck you. Like,
Well, I mean, we didn't see that many constructs, and it's like,
Right.
That's what we came to see. Like, if we're gonna watch a Green Lantern show, like, you want to see the construct.
I know,
You
it
want
was
to see the green.
It was like the second teaser or something. It had Hal just make a green shield, and there were so many assholes online being like, "See, nothing to worry about, nothing." And it's like, dude,
Yeah.
well, show me something real. Like just John doing the bird construct. I was like, I'm in. You've won me over already.
The like weird Earth drill. Like,
Yes.
Like, I'm like, this is that's the thing about Green Lantern to me that I love. It's like the idea that like these, first of all, these constructs, the way that they're created is based on imagination, and like
Yeah.
it's the people who wield them like have strong will, like they have, you know, like very vast, like, you know, imagination. Like, that is part of the like power set, and
Yeah.
it's like you should be able to create, you know, crazy constructs. That's why I loved when we got Guy Gardner in Superman, and like he was creating just like silly like little constructs, because like
Right.
that to me is what Green Lanterns is. And like, not saying that we got silly ones here, but like just getting some of that campiness and that playfulness.
I mean, we got a
is
bird,
important.
a beer bottle opener.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's
The
more
beer
like
bottle
it.
opener to me was like,
That's Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, that is awesome. Like, Hal knows he's the shit, and he
Yeah.
loves to use his powers, and he loves to show them off. So it's like, give me more of that. The only thing that I think is kind of a bummer is that they confirmed that they're doing the John Stewart Marine route instead of the Architect. And that doesn't really matter too much. I just like the architect because I think it gives him more creativity with his
I agree.
constructs. Like he's way more meticulous with how he builds his things. But Kyle Rayner's got to be right around the corner. That guy's a freaking beautiful artist.
Not Jessica Cruz.
Jessica Cruz is also great, but like Kyle Rayner's my goat.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I love Kyle, and I love that he's a comic book artist. I love that he's just like he makes the coolest constructs to me. Like when he puts himself in a Gundam suit, I'm like, this is the.
If we
Green
don't get
Lantern
that
I
at
love.
some point in the DCU, like we've done it wrong.
As long as it's Kyle doing it, I am down. I am down.
Another trailer too that was revealed this past week was the Clayface trailer. And we got a
Yes.
lot more footage of this movie. What do you think?
I'm very excited for it. This is like we were talking about, I think, like 2 weeks ago. I think the horror elements are going to be insane. The VFX looked so good in this trailer. It blew my mind. And that final, 3 seconds where it showed him transforming, that's all I need.
See, here's my thing. Like I'm optimistic about this movie, but to me, his like superpower and like the horror aspect of it can feel like I'm not saying it always does, but it can feel like a one-trick pony.
Yep.
And it's like they've been doing such a good job at hiding that, or at least holding on to that in the trailers or like the footage images that we've seen. And this is the first time we're getting it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Now that it's out and like everybody's like enjoying it, like, can you make me want to watch this for an hour and a half
I know.
without losing some of that?
I think, it's just like that final shot that we got in the trailer. That's got to be at the end of the movie because as soon as you open that bag in this movie,
what I'm
it's
saying.
like no one's going to want to see anything else.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up, there's this reporter critic, her name's Grace Randolph. She made a tweet saying this movie doesn't look good and that it's giving Sony versus Spider-Villain vibes. And I do think she kind of has a point.
I agree with her.
I think she's wrong. Like, I think this movie looks way better made than the Sony versus Spider-Man villain movies. It looks like there's way more attention to detail and love put into this one than the Spider villain movies. But she does kind of have a point where it's like, we don't necessarily need a Clayface solo movie right now. And I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
That's my biggest takeaway from this. Like, I do agree. Like, I do think it looks like a Sony verse like Spider-Villain movie.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting conversation to have because like those movies were made without Marvel Studios, right? Like Sony's in such a weird place where like they can only do so much with what they own as like the rights. And so like that's why we've gotten a Madam Web. That's why we've gotten, Craven, Morbius. And like it is odd that like a DC movie is coming out under Warner Brothers and they're like, no, we're gonna just like take a back seat and like have this like the character of Clayface isn't that great of a character.
No.
And like they haven't given me a reason to care here.
And it's like, it's kind of like what you're saying. Like, not even Disney has this really, but it's like, you can use whoever you want in this movie. Like, why isn't Batman in this movie?
I think that to me, this trailer proved that they need Batman in this movie.
Yeah.
Because I watched the trailer multiple times and I'm like, it's like as a comic book movie fan, like I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go watch it. Like I'm curious, I'm interested. But at the end of the day, like I'm like, there's like out of all the superhero movies that are coming out, like that is probably like in last place for me because I don't care.
Yeah.
yet.
I mean, I love horror movies, so I'm very excited for it, but I completely agree. Like, in terms of, like, what does this do to the larger DCU? And like,
not that it has to. Like,
no.
it be a
But
standalone.
but you're also in the beginnings. Like, you do kind of want to plant your roots and, like
why this movie? Like, also, like, Batman has a crazy, cast of villains. And it's like, I mean, we've seen the Penguin, we've seen the Joker have their own, projects. And it's like, you could do Two-Face, you could do so many other characters. And it's like, and if you want to do that horror aspect, like Batman's the best villain or the best hero. Heroes. Oh my god, why am I blanking on the word for it? But like essentially his like
he can play the villain if that's what you're trying to say.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like there's so many things you can do, and there's so many like I don't know. Like to me,
I
they
think a
haven't given
lot
me
of people
reason to
like
care.
that idea of Clayface kind of struggling with this new power and like shit, and Batman keep showing
Yeah,
up.
like kicking him down while
Yeah.
he's trying to like
Exactly. That's like you'd think with Warner Brothers and they own everything. It's like that's the benefit. Like you can do something like that. Like you know, Spider-Man can't really do that. You
Right.
can't really do that with the Avengers and stuff. So, but no. And I don't know. I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be really good just because I love horror, but I hope this doesn't continue. Like,
Yeah.
I hope we start getting some more bigger characters or at least like stories that revolve more characters, you
Yeah.
know, than just Clayface.
Like, I will fully eat my words if I'm wrong, and this movie's amazing, and I will be the first person to be like, I want a Clayface too. But
Yeah.
right now, I'm like, you're not gonna beat me with excitement.
Yeah.
For a Clayface movie.
Right. I think that makes sense.
Okay, a couple other things before we talk about the big Hall H stuff. Vixen and Static are officially getting their first ongoing.
Thank
Or,
God.
I don't know if it's first, but they're getting an ongoing at DC, which is crazy to me because like this past year they've been getting grilled over the fact that they didn't have an ongoing in the main line DC continuity starring a black hero.
Yes.
And like it was really funny because like at this panel, Stephanie Williams, when she like announced it, she was pretty much just like, this is probably the worst kept secret in the comics, like, you know, community, but like this is happening. And I mean, that's because like that's the best part about the comics community. Like if you're not a part of, you know, the community, like definitely, you know, get in there. We're all having fun. We're all definitely talking to each other, but like it's one of the few communities where you can talk to these creators like
Yes.
on social media and like
And they listen.
yeah, and they listen. They're here. They're regular people too. They have families. Like they want to do, you know, right by these characters just as much as we want to read right by these characters. And like, it was such an interesting year seeing all of these, you know, black social media creators talking about this and like really pushing for it and like starting a boycott.
Yeah.
And then like them ending almost prematurely and wondering like what happened,
Yeah.
knowing that they had been talking to Stephanie Williams and talking to all these other people who are in this industry.
Exactly.
Being like, hey, like, we need you to stick around and like, you know, we do have something coming out, but we can't announce it yet. And it's been a fun adventure, and I'm just glad that DC is finally like acknowledging it and moving forward with some of these characters because these teams are stacked. Like I'm so
I know.
pumped.
And I was getting nervous because I was seeing jokes like, oh, Cody's going to be announced to write like Zatanna or something
Yeah.
like that. And it was like, oh my God, can you imagine
Yeah.
if they hold out?
And, like-
but Static is probably the easiest layup to do right now.
Especially when you have someone like a Cody Ziegler. Like if
Yes.
you haven't read Cody Ziegler's Miles Morales run or his Deadpool run, like do yourself a favor, go pick that up now because it is so great. And it's to me that Miles Morales book
That suit.
is incredible and just a perfect way to like that's what you want in a Static writer.
Yes.
And he has it. And like his dialogue is so witty. I mean, he does a bunch of work. Like if you're watching Futurama, he's on that writing team. Like he's great.
Yeah.
But like that's amazing. Stephanie Williams has been on an epic run.
Yeah.
She's been writing so many different things. I mean, if you're not reading Roots of Madness, get on that. But also like her finally, you know, she's been wanting to write Vixen for so long, and I'm so excited to see what she does with this
Vixen
character.
is again another layup character. Like she
Easy.
has so many goons, especially because the Justice League Unlimited show really
Yeah.
shone like a perfect light on her, and it's just been so long. With both of these characters,
Mm-hmm.
it's been so long since they've actually had a good ongoing, and especially in the era of DC right now, where they're focusing so heavily on the younger characters and like the Teen Titans and stuff like
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that, like. Not so much Vixen, but Static can just mold into the continuity
Yes.
of the DC
And
so easily.
They've tried it multiple times.
I know,
I know. The
I
new
know.
52, like the new 52 Static was awful,
That was so bad.
but was I excited? Like I love Static, and like anytime a book comes out, like I'm the first person to support it. But like that one was rough, and I kind of like what they're doing with the Milestone characters.
Definitely.
They kind of set up this new, almost like rebooted that universe and showing. Did you ever read Blue Marvel? We're on the Marvel side of things. It's very similar to that, where like the Milestone characters have existed in this universe for so long, but they've kind of been sidelined
Yeah.
and told to be sidelined by like the big three of the DC universe. And so like this is the first time that they're essentially resurfacing in the DC universe, or at least this new universe, and kind of having to grapple with that. And that's fascinating to me.
It's very exciting because, I mean, when DC tried to do the same thing with Watchmen, it started off really cool and then kind of went off the rails. I think this has a much better chance of just like actually sticking and not turning into like a huge event, and they're just like a part of DC
Yeah.
now.
I think that's always been an issue with DC and Milestone. Like they've
Yeah.
always tried to figure out a way to fold them in, and I think this is probably the most organic way that they're going to do it.
It's just crazy because the characters are right there, and like it
know.
would be so easy to do. And speaking of an easy layup, the Obsession star, the guy that played Bear, may be playing Charlie Kirk in an upcoming biopic.
Oh God.
I couldn't believe that was real, but at least the photos that they used of him when
Yeah.
announcing this,
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I've been Kirkified too much, but like he just looks like Charlie Kirk. I could see it easily.
I mean, I guess he's just trying to collect the bag. He's just going to the next project, and like, sure.
But this is a make or break for him because
Yeah.
like if he's doing this and it's like sponsored by like the right,
Yeah.
his career's done. You
Yeah.
know, if they try to lift him up and make Charlie Kirk like some Jesus figure in this.
How are they not? You think they're not gonna? You don't think
This
TPS
could-
USA is like somehow involved in this?
No,
movie?
no.
Okay.
I'm hoping and praying that this is like a Hollywood thing, and
Okay.
it's going to be more like I don't even know which movie I would describe it to, but more like just the downfall of Charlie Kirk.
Oh, okay,
You
I see
know,
what you're
and
saying.
it's like he's part of that era of people that kind of changed politics, you know, online, and so maybe it would be more about that. You know, instead of him being like some righteous figure, it's like this is a dude who grifted on the internet
Yeah.
for years,
Yeah.
you know, and I feel like that's a better story to tell.
I think it's a better story. I just
don't know why he's doing it. I mean, there were
yeah.
talks that he could be playing Scott Summers, and now it's like, nope, he's actually doing a biopic, maybe about Charlie Kirk.
it's a choice. It's a choice. Let's leave it at that.
I will say though, ever since people saw him, they're like, he's got a Charlie Kirk face. Like every time you see a gif of him online, it's like, has this been Kirkified or is this actually what he looks like? Like it's very weird. There was so much that happened this weekend, but the main thing that we are here to talk about is everything going on with Marvel because they showed off a ton, starting with these new suits that we see of everyone.
Yes.
We got a close-up of Cyclops, Gambit, Steve just being a regular dude. They all look insane. I really like the Cyclops one. I saw a lot of conversations online of like, he should have shorts, he shouldn't have shorts. I don't know.
I go back and forth. I feel like it just. I would love to see the shorts,
Of course.
obviously, but like I think that it's not like Superman where you can kind of pull it off.
And I was staring at this photo. That's a good point. But I was staring at this photo over and over again, and it's become clear to me it is the Fox X-Men suit. Like they have the X underneath. He's just like dyed it blue.
I kind of love that.
I love it too. I think it's a great way to, you know, pay homage to those movies while also giving the fans what they want. And I think it gives us more room to get a better suit when the MCU X-Men come around.
I love that suit. I also really loved they had Sue Storm's suit, and I think like what they're doing with the Fantastic Four and their overall look and kind of giving them a little bit of a like modern isn't the right word because but it's like they're kind of losing some of that Art Deco-y stuff and like going for a more neutral look here, and like I love those jackets. I need a jacket.
I love their designs too. I do kind of wish they were wearing the Future Foundation suits. Like, especially for space travel. I feel like the opportunity was right there. Like just give them the sleek white and like it's kind of silvery.
I couldn't agree more. I think like I think that the reason why they're not doing it is because they're just a little bit too new and they want to keep the blue.
Exactly. I think, but it's like when I was watching Fantastic Four First Steps and it was like in the first 15 minutes they've announced the Future Foundation.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this all just feels like a little too perfect. Like it has to be about Doomsday or Secret Wars.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think it's also, you know, Sue, Valeria, and Franklin, they all wear a similar kind of Future Foundation suit on Battleworld.
In the comics.
In the comics, yeah, sorry. But so maybe they'll get that kind of suit in Secret Wars.
Yes,
you
I
know?
think it'll probably happen in Secret Wars before we see it. Also, because it would just align more with like Doom's overall aesthetic.
Right.
The other thing too, I wanted to know, speaking on that, like in the Future Foundation being introduced in Fantastic Four First Steps, I do like that they're taking it in a much more like United Nations, like diplomatic terms. And I don't know who said this, and I'm so sorry for forgetting. But there was a comment online that was talking about in the trailer for Doomsday, we see Sue sort of like talking to the Wakandans, and like someone was like, "Oh yeah, she's a diplomat. Like
Right.
she's been doing this," and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that makes sense. And like seeing that aspect of the Future Foundation is kind of interesting in the way that they're kind of using that to one tell the story that they're telling, but also two like really shape, what the Fantastic Four can be in this world is really really fascinating to me.
It gets me excited, and like you were saying, like with her being like an ambassador and
Yeah.
stuff and a diplomat, like she is going to be that glue in this movie, and it's going to be so.
It's a
great.
hidden superpower, and like it's something that is obviously there in the comics, but not something that like is necessarily the first thing that people think of when they think of an Invisible Woman or the Fantastic Four. And I think that it's a very smart play.
I agree completely, and I think that's what Fantastic Four First Steps did incredibly well. Like there was a whole moment where Mr. Fantastic says like, "I'm burdened with like having to think of the worst possible situations," and Sue's like, "No, that's like you just want to do that," and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're right." Like,
Yeah.
like I like that version more than like just the cynical version.
Yes, I agree. Okay, the other thing that we did see in terms of the costumes was there was a revolving witch's costume.
Yes.
That changed every day at San Diego.
So
Comic.
exciting.
Yeah.
That was like probably the highlight of my week.
Yeah, it was crazy seeing it change colors. I remember when the second one came out, it looks like a burnt orange.
Yeah.
Everybody was like sharing and saying it's a different one. And I remember being like, no, it just looks like the green one under a different light. Mm-hmm. But the forensic scientists on the internet sitting there enhancing, zooming in on every little detail, like proving that it's a completely different suit.
Yeah.
Blew my mind. I was so on board for this. I thought this was just as exciting as like the chairs.
Oh yeah.
And like the speculation online has been so much fun. Do we want to talk about it? Who do you think these suits belong to?
So, oh my God, there's so many theories online about it. The green one is probably the most interesting one
Yes.
because she has the most bling.
Yeah.
And there's a rune on her belt, where the other two costumes, it's just like a see-through belt almost. She has like a giant rune there.
Yeah.
And so that has me thinking the green one has to be either Wanda or Sylvie.
Yeah.
Because both of them would probably have to be forced into a role of helping Doom.
Yeah. Sylvie's probably okay. As much as I want Wanda to be in this movie, I have been burned way too many times.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe that until I see it.
Yeah.
I want her in this movie, don't get me wrong. I just don't see it in the cards right now. And I would probably think, like, I'm leaning more towards Sylvie here because of the Loki aspect of this movie.
Of course. I think that makes total sense. I think that's just too obvious
I agree.
at this point. Like, I worry if Sylvie's even going to be in this movie, like, or if she's going to, and if she is in this movie, have a bigger role. Like, I think this one being Wanda just makes the most sense to me. Not a lot of comics, but there are plenty of issues where Wanda and Doom have a more intimate relationship than, most people. And Wanda and Doom, I'm getting ahead of myself, both kind of use the same spells.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very interested to see what happens with that. But we'll touch on that later because there's more that I want to say about Wanda. For the orange one, that was probably the most confusing one.
I agree.
Because I couldn't really place anyone. I saw immediately people were saying like Natasha, and I was like, that doesn't make sense at all because obviously she doesn't know any magic. I started looking at Agatha, not actually Agatha, but the show Agatha, because they have all the other witches in it. And I don't know if they would bring anyone from there.
Well, the only one that's alive is Jennifer Kale. They all died.
Yes. And I just think Jennifer Kale could work.
It could work, but the other thing too is like, and this is where I love Marvel because like this is such an unsung thing, like an unsaid thing where we've assigned colors to witches already.
I know.
And like it's never been something that we've talked about, but like every single witch inside of Agatha all along has a color that's assigned to them and has like a style of magic that's assigned to them. That's something that they've been implanting since the beginning of this phase and this like multiverse saga.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, if we had to pick them all, like hers would probably be like Jennifer Kale's would be the closest one. I just think that we haven't explored much of Jennifer Cale in this universe, in this world, it would be such a weird deep cut.
Right.
I would expect Agatha before her,
Yes.
but also like Agatha is dead. Yeah, and is a ghost. So
Yeah.
I don't know about that. The only one that's obviously clear to me is the purple one.
Right.
Like that one to me has to be Clea.
Yeah.
And that's mostly because of where we saw her at the end of Multiverse of Madness. And
It
also,
also makes sense because she's the daughter of Dormammu, or at least based on the comic
Yeah.
she is, and that could kind of mean royalty to me, you know. So the gold instead of the silver would make sense, and then the purple is just obviously a
Yeah.
big giveaway to Clea.
yeah, and like to me, it's less of an obvious answer than Agatha, which is where I think most people's brains went.
And I think the biggest issue is kind of like what you're saying with people assigning colors and stuff. People have already assigned the roles of what these witches are, and it's helping Doctor Doom in some way, but we don't know if he's kidnapped them,
Yeah.
brainwashed them, if they willingly work for him. Like, these could be multiversal variants.
Exactly.
These could be reincarnated versions of characters. It could be anything.
Could be completely new characters.
Yes.
They can also just be like fully just like
Yeah,
non-important
they could just be
characters.
Latverian witches.
Yeah.
But like that just doesn't feel right because why would you put them on display?
Yes, and make a big deal about it.
Right. That feels like we're shoving something in your face that you're not going to know until after the movie.
Yeah. I also do wonder how much of it was like a response to the first one, because like when they first showed the green Latverian suit, Latverian witch suit, the internet lost it. Like if I would have been there at San Diego Comic-Con and had seen that suit, I would have been like, okay, it's just like a regular like side character, not a big deal. I mean, we see that type of stuff when they were doing stuff for Endgame and Infinity War, where we just see like, you know, like I can't remember what the villains are called from
Oh, Thanos' group?
the not the Black Order, but like the crazy four-armed monster aliens, like
The Chitauri?
not the Shatari. I can't remember what they're called. They have a weird name. They're like bloodhound type.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know their names either, but I know what you're talking about.
We would see those, and it's just like, okay, like I don't think that's a major character. Like it's just a side character, and like that's kind of where my brain went at first. But then when they started switching it, it's like, okay, now they're feeding it.
Well, this was, I mean, not to interrupt, sorry, but it literally goes to three witches and then Doom.
Yeah.
Like, they all took each other's spots. So, you know, maybe if we downplay it and say they could just be random witches or something like that. But you have to look at the evidence, you know?
Yeah.
Green, orange, purple, Doom. Like that. I saw some people thinking it would be Infinity Stones.
I did see this theory.
I was like, guys, there's not enough days.
I also think we're so like done with the Infinity Stones.
Right.
Like I think that chapter is closed. I think calling back to that is a mistake.
I think after the joke they did in Loki with them being paperweights, it's like no one's ever going to accept them being in the movies again.
Yeah.
Like they're always going to have that stipulation.
Yeah, and it's like I saw people trying to like, you know, one, like you were saying, assign it to stones, but also like try to like decipher how each stone is a different witch power. And I'm like, okay, I think we're going a little too like I get it. Like I love this community. I'm all for theories.
Yeah.
I think we need to be realistic about it.
Yeah, and I want to circle back to the Green Witch later, but we got a lot more to cover for Doomsday because that we haven't even gotten to the panels yet.
I know.
And the panel was absolutely insane. I did a full breakdown yesterday on my page, so you can check that out. But we got to cover these highlights because I thought they were going to announce a whole new cast, like the second half of Doomsday. Only Haley Atwell came out. Only Haley Atwell was confirmed for this movie.
Which we kind of already knew.
The most obvious, like, reveal. Like, obviously, if Steve is back in time in his house, in the motorcycle, blah, 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 his wife is gonna be there. Like, what do we do?
They had a baby. Like
So that makes me think, oh, God, Captain Carter is under one of these witches' robes.
I don't think Captain Carter's in this movie. I think that we're gonna see Haley Atwell just play Agent Carter. I don't think we're gonna get Captain Carter here. I think we could see her in Secret Wars. I think I think we're getting way too ahead of ourselves.
I mean this with full respect. If Marvel cares about Haley's mental health, they won't put her in that Captain Carter outfit again.
At all.
At all.
No, I think we're gonna get it for sure.
I think we're gonna get it in Secret Wars, but like if they don't want severe backlash on this woman's social media pages, like never put her back in that suit because the fans' response to Captain Carter is always brutal.
I think it's
It's that what if shot. It's that what if shot of her with the Hela helmet, the Thor Mjolnir.
Sure. I do think that like I do, and we can.
Infinity Gauntlet, like
I do think that they kind of went a little bit overboard on what if, but I do think that she has a dedicated fan base that is like not as loud.
MCU or comic for it, because comic is great. We
No, MCU. I think MCU. I think she has her fan base. I'm part of that. Like I think everybody wants to see more of her. I think there is a fatigue of it based off of what if.
What if Multiverse of Madness, you know, I think it's just in this very short span, she was kind of shoved down a lot of people's throats. And I think Captain Carter is a very cool concept. And I really liked that episode where she wore Hela's, like where she got everything and like she beat up everyone. I thought that was great. I thought the last season where she turned into like a Watcher, I thought that was a little ridiculous.
It got a little bit ridiculous towards the end, but also it was a cartoon. Like
It's a cartoon. Exactly.
I'm not
Exactly. You know, if they did a Captain Carter animated show, I think that would have been great, you know, but if she is just Peggy in this, I think it's a very safe return. You know, if she shows up as Captain Carter in this, I think people are gonna be pissed. If she shows up as Captain Carter in Secret Wars, I think it's more understandable.
I think it's more understandable. I think it's more expected in Secret Wars. I just think that for a movie that already has like 8 Captain Americas, the last thing we need is another.
Oh my God. Can you imagine 3 people with a shield at one point? And
I think we're at 4 because you have the Red Guardian.
oh my God,
US
you're
Agent,
right.
Bucky, Sam Wilson.
Instead of the girls like team up scene in
Yeah,
Endgame,
it's
it's
just
just
Captain
all the
America.
shields.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Okay, now this person wasn't confirmed to be in Doomsday, but they did make an appearance as well.
Yep.
Ryan Reynolds shows up as he's calling Gene Pool,
Gene Pool, yeah.
which is a full Canadian tuxedo version of the Deadpool suit. I thought this was awkward when he made the appearance. Like he kind of posed it as like, I'm just a person in the audience,
Yeah.
and there was like a little bit between him and RDJ,
Yeah.
and like this is obviously something I think a lot of people want. Like a lot of people want to see RDJ and Ryan Reynolds together in a movie at some point in the MCU. I've always been a little bit hesitant because their styles are so different. And this kind of made me cringe a little bit.
A little, but I have been dying for Deadpool to not be a main character in a Marvel movie.
I agree.
Like, I know Ryan would crush it as a side character in an Avengers or an X Factor movie where it's not a Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
You know, where he's not written as the main character.
My dream Deadpool like appearance in a movie in the MCU is his role in Secret Empire.
Yes.
Because he is trying so hard to be an Avenger, and he like falls in line with Captain America, who's evil in this book, spoiler alert, and he's doing everything Cap tells him to do. He is very much on board, and he even like second guesses himself at times where he's like, I don't think this is the right thing to do, but he's like, no, Captain America assigned this to me, and he's very like much an emotional core in that story.
Yeah.
And like I can see that version of Deadpool in Secret Wars if we do get the Hydra Cap stuff, if we do get that, even if it's Doom, and he's just like, you know what, I'm doing this because that is my Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Like, I want that arc for him where he is like actively trying to be the hero.
Yeah.
And like trying to do the right thing, especially, and like there's jokes that are writing themselves like in my brain already where it's like he's in a PG-13 movie, he's trying to show that he's not just this edgelord type character. Like I would love to see that. I don't think he's in Doomsday though.
I do think he's in Doomsday. I think it's impossible not to have him in Doomsday. I think with how much fan service Doomsday has like confirmed, it's like, you know, if we're just bringing back things and like we're doing what fans have wanted for so long, fans have been saying since Stan Lee passed away, Deadpool should be the new Stan Lee of the MCU, and he should be cameoing in everything and just appearing. And so I think at the very least he's getting a cameo. I do think he's actually a character or like a supporting role in this movie, and they're just hiding him. But I don't know, that it was a little awkward. I think a part of it is he's in this mask and he can't hear anything and stuff like that. But Because again, like, you know, when Paul Rudd took a shot at his soccer team, it's like he didn't even react. I don't think he heard him.
I don't think he heard him, but I also thought that that moment was weird to begin with.
Yeah.
Like he straight up asks Paul Rudd, like, where's Thor and why was he crying?
Yeah.
And like
I don't think Paul Rudd knew what he was referencing.
Paul Rudd was like, it looked like he was just completely out of it
Yeah.
and was like, what, me? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And like, that's where it felt weird. And I was like, are they trying to set something up? Like, and the fact that we didn't get an answer or any confirmation of him being in that movie or in Secret Wars or even like a full send on Deadpool 4, like,
Yeah.
I found it really out of place. And I don't know, like,
I just took it as a hint that he's coming. He's
I think-
either going to
yes,
be in
I agree with-
Doomsday or
yeah.
Secret Wars. Like,
yeah, I definitely took it as a hint that he's coming. I don't think he's in this movie at all. I will stand on that. I think it's more of a like more Deadpool is coming for sure.
right. I hope so. I hope he's doing more cameos and less solo movies or more team movies. I think would be the best route for him. I want him in this movie. I would take him over Channing Tatum in this movie. I'm not going to lie.
I would take him over Channing Tatum.
I would take him over. I feel like him over a lot of the X-Men team like would make
Yeah.
more sense, especially with him being at the TV. Like, but I know he's in this movie. I know he's working with Loki.
Well, the other thing too is like with all the teams that we see in Doomsday, there isn't a team that's like if there was an X-Force team on this lineup where they are going to these alternate Earths and they're the ones who are pushing the button and like killing that universe, like that would make sense to me.
Of course.
But they haven't set anything up in that direction, and like.
I think they're okay. I just got a point. I gotta say this so you guys all hear it, so we have it on record. There is a fourth hidden team in this movie, and it's Loki's team, and it's Loki, Wolverine, Haley Atwell's Captain Carter, and then the TVA agents.
Interesting.
And I know that's going to happen because you don't set up Loki in his TV show, the TVA and Deadpool and Wolverine, all like they are the ones that actually know about the multiverse. We keep talking about how the X-Men are gonna be the like informers and the knowledgeable ones because they've been fighting incursions. They won't know why it's happening though. They'll be the experts on how to stop it, but then it's going to be Loki's team that says this is why it's happening.
But why would Loki develop that team and not just recruit his Avengers?
Don't ask me those questions. I don't.
I'm poking holes
I
in
don't
it.
have those answers.
Look.
I don't have those answers.
The thing that like the only thing that like
It is an Avenger. You got Captain Carter.
yeah, but like why
got it.
wouldn't he go to Thor and be like, hey, I need your help on this versus like recruiting these
tough.
crazy okay.
Too tough.
The only thing that like would support that is I don't know if you read it.
Maybe it's Mobius doing it, not Loki.
Could be. I don't know if you read this. I think it came out. If it wasn't last year, it was the year before.
You're
There was a
talking about
TVA.
the TVA, yeah.
There's a TVA comic that kind of did something like this.
Yeah.
That like
Wanda.
technically, yeah, we can talk about that all day. But like, they kind of try to do this where it's like that comic was very much an experiment where like it sort of takes place in the MCU, kind of.
Like, what are you doing if B-15 goes like, let me call up Gwen Stacy real
Yeah,
quick?
that's what I'm saying. Like, and then you see this team, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of in, and
Yeah.
like I could see that team being in Doomsday.
I think that was our blueprint to the team.
But I'm also like, how do you explain that to people who aren't reading the comics or like
You swap everyone out with people you know. It's Deadpool and Wolverine. They've
right?
been
But
there.
but
Captain Carter is the leader of What If.
true. My thing is, there's just too much. Like, if Doomsday is doing one thing, it's they're trying to avoid having to make audiences think that they need to watch every single show that has come out. Like, they've done such a good job outside of being like the only one you need to watch is Loki.
What if they're just guardians? Like, they're not actually going out and doing stuff. Like, they're just keeping watch and protecting Loki.
I would
they're
buy
almost
it.
like a third act.
I
reveal.
honestly, I would buy it more if they're not even involved with Loki. If they're just on their own and they're just like an exile.
I could see it being like a Morbius run thing, where it's like he loves Loki so much and wants to protect all the TVA people want to
Yeah.
protect him. That him, Sylvie, B-15, or Boris or whatever, Obi, keep Deadpool, Wolverine, maybe grab Captain Carter, maybe someone else, maybe another fun one from the multiverse, and it's like we are the watchers of Loki. We are the people that are keeping the timeline intact and stopping people from getting too close to Loki.
Okay, I can see it. I'm
Loki-
I'm almost there with you. Like I can see it. Like I'm willing to buy it.
What's his name?
Who? Obi?
No. In New Avengers, Molecule Man, because Loki is the Molecule Man
I would
of this
agree with
movie, right? Like I think that's pretty. That is the logical conclusion. Is like if you're looking at New Avengers and you're seeing how it sets up Secret Wars, it's like, okay, they need some big factor like this, and right now it's only Loki. Loki has that power. It could have been Kang, but it's Loki, and so I just think it makes sense. I think it makes sense that seeing Loki in that stupid TVA uniform in this trailer, that is such a. They're just trying to fuck with you, you know?
Yeah.
They don't want you thinking Loki has a bigger role in this, or like, not even a bigger role in the movie, just a bigger, powerful role in this.
Yeah, I can't, because like here's my thing. If Loki in this movie is going to Steve Rogers and being like, hey, we need you, I need your help with this or whatever, or hey, you messed something up, like we need to fix this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why Steve wouldn't be a part of that multiversal team.
What if I told you he is? What if I told you there's like too many versions of Steve in this movie?
There's just 8 of them.
Yeah. Well, what if the
Actually,
real
that-
one is the one that's looking at the suit in the teaser, and the and the Steve that Loki found is the one with the long hair and beard, and that's Loki's way to try and talk to Thor.
Okay.
Is like,
Well, look, there's so many theories going on about that scene because I've seen theories or I've heard theories that I'm starting to buy a lot more. Where that scene where Steve, because like everybody on the internet is like, that's not our Steve, that's not our Steve.
that's not our Steve, right? But
And I'm
also
like-
I think that's the Steve that's holding the TVA.
I agree.
Thing.
He's got the ring on.
Yeah.
And so like I think
I don't think that was Loki in that moment. If that's what you're about to say.
I don't know. I do go back and forth on that because I can see that happen. I mostly just want Loki to be able to pick up Mjolnir.
I feel like
but
Loki's going to be immobile in this movie. If they're following where he is
Yeah.
at the end of Loki, he can't just go around and like
Pop in and
walk.
out, yeah.
Like he's got to be left alone. That's literally where his story ended.
Yeah.
That he can't go talk to his friends anymore. He can't go to the TVA. He can't do anything
Yeah.
anymore. So it's like, I do understand this theory of like that's Loki trying to just bring people together, but I think it's another step involved where it's like that's Steve's Loki. Like that's the Steve that Loki found or the TVA found to bring people in.
okay.
You know? And I know that sounds convoluted.
It's a very convoluted like, and that's what I'm trying to get at. At the end of the day, like there's so many different theories, and I think that some of these are great. Like I love them, but
Yeah.
like them being so convoluted is the antithesis of like what they're trying to do with Doomsday. They're trying to streamline this movie so much that like you don't have to watch everything.
Right.
That I'm like they like some of
just
these
not possible.
It's not possible at this point in the the stages of what we're doing with the MCU.
Yeah.
But also like there's just so much like
Yeah.
that, especially with the TV shows that are out there. And like if right now all they have is right now what it looks like is like here are the movies you need to watch, and then also Loki if you really want to watch the TV shows. And it's like I don't know how much extra stuff or how much, I mean, because also this movie is only going to be 3 hours long. Like you can only put so much in this movie. Like
Yeah.
and it feels right now like they're gonna have to do a lot of explaining, and that's my biggest like worry.
Yes, that is definitely the challenge that they have to face. I'm hoping honestly that there's surprise movies in between Secret War or Doomsday and Secret Wars.
I still can't believe that we're not getting a Doctor Strange in the middle of these two movies.
I know. It's weird. But I have to trust Disney. I have to trust Marvel. Like they have never really led me wrong, and
Agreed.
like this is just too big to fail in my eyes
Okay.
like, at this point. And speaking of too big to fail, this poster that we just got this weekend is absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
Like no more floating heads. We are getting just a full shot of Doom walking, and oh my God, he looks gorgeous.
The suit, the mask, all of it. It just looks amazing. I have been having a field day on the internet because people are picking this suit apart and
Yeah.
trying to like piece together what all these things could possibly mean, from the runes to, I know you want to talk about the ribbon on his arm.
Yes.
What are we looking at here?
I have no idea. Sometimes I think it's like this is an injury thing. Sometimes when I get a better look at it, I'm like, there are runes on this bandage. But what could it be? The only real thing that I could think of was Across the Spider-Verse. When Miles goes to a new universe, they have to give, or that's like stated that if anyone multiverse travels, they have to wear this bandage, and then, or to them, it's like an actual piece of technology.
Yeah.
But it stops them from glitching out, and like they can stay in this new universe. Obviously, maybe Doom doesn't have that technology or whatever, so maybe it's something to stop him from glitching, and it's just a rune, you know,
Yeah.
like just a spell, like to keep him there.
I like that because there is this like weird, what's the word, where it's like, if you know, if we're gonna believe the rumors that like he is pretty much doing everything he's doing because, you know, Steve broke the timeline and he's, you know, trying to get to him, like he's kind, why I can't think of the word, where it's like you're doing the thing that you're doing the thing that you're saying people not to do.
Condescending?
Not condescending. It's oh my god.
Oh no.
It's not.
What is that word?
Hypocritical.
Hypocritical.
Hypocritical. Thank you. Oh my, hypercritical. Like it is a little bit like hypocritical that like Doom is like, hey, you guys broke the timeline. Let me step into your timeline in your universe and like cause even more incursions while I'm doing it. But like, so like I could see that. I never thought about that. But I want to hit you with another theory that I've been kind of chewing on for a little bit, and I just kind of been coming up with ideas about what these witches and what that armband can mean. But like, we haven't really gotten much in the trailers, at least, showing that Doom is a sorcerer. Like he is the person who is conjuring magic and has like learned magic on his own. Like that's obviously true in the comics, but what if he's siphoning magic from the witches? Like what if he is using, you know, like if it is a Wanda, if it is a Sylvie, if it is a Clea, like they all have different types of magic.
Yeah.
And like it would be interesting to see. And like this is the other thing that I've been kind of looking at, and something that like has been echoed throughout this entire saga is when it comes to the witches, look at the magic. Like what colors are the magic? Like what does that mean? And like they've gone on record by saying that like each color of magic means something. And like when we've seen these trailers, like I know I've been very critical about seeing magic on Doom, and we haven't really seen a specific color. But now that we've seen like, you know, certain leaks from whether it's toys, Legos, I know we've seen pictures of like him using magic. We've seen different colors. Like if I would have guessed what color Doom's magic would have been, it would have been green.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's red. So
Right.
that makes me think that like I can see a world where we see Doom siphoning magic off of these witches, and like in battle we see almost like when Thanos is fighting with the different Infinity Stones, and he specifically
You
calls
see
to
them
one.
light up.
Yeah. Like I could see him using these witches and using their magic, and we see his magic change colors throughout
That's
the movie.
That could work completely because they officially released the Lego set photos today, and he has interchangeable magic on these
see?
sets. Where like one photo, I think it's like it shows a Sentinel, and one photo, the cover box is him with green.
Yeah.
And then you scroll over and it shows the minifigs, and it's the same exact magic but red.
Yeah.
And so he's going to have interchangeable. It's the same thing with the Thing Helicarrier one or Quinjet one. It's like the main box cover, his fists are green, but then you flip through it and it has the same like type of magic but red.
Yeah, and it works for his character because like Doom is someone who like obviously is always 3 steps ahead, but he's also someone who like forces things. Like he's constantly looking for shortcuts. He's constantly looking for efficiency, and I could see him being like, rather than me having to conjure up my own magic and like learn this, I'll just apply my own scientific brain and be like, what if I develop a technology that lets me manipulate magic from someone else?
Absolutely. And I think there is even more evidence in that because we just got our first look at the Doomsday Hot Toys, and Doctor Doom is holding the Darkhold in it. And that is like, again, it is Wanda's week without her even being involved in this movie, because it does say on the top, photo of book is from concept art, right? So it's not officially confirmed or anything, but holy shit, if he has the Darkhold in this, that like you can't do it without having Wanda.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing too. There's been another theory that's been floating around the internet saying that the reason why, like, people have been trying to explain why Doom has Tony Stark's face, right? And so one of the theories that I've been seeing around, and it's been going on for a minute, but now this is starting to like really feel it, is that he is dream walking from other universes. So similar to what Doctor Strange did in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
he, Dream walks into a corpse.
Yeah.
And he takes the form of that corpse. Is that the reason why we don't see why Doom's hiding his face in this movie? Maybe. I don't think that that's necessarily the case, but the evidence is there. And if he's holding the Darkhold, like, that is fuel for him pushing towards dream walking.
It fuels so much. It fuels he could summon the Scarlet Witch. It fuels that he knows how to dream walk. It fuels so many possibilities of what he could actually be doing in this movie. And dude, I mean, again, the main part is you see that Darkhold and you just can't help but feel like Wanda has to be in this goddamn movie.
Well, even, I mean, like, it echoes, like, based off what we've heard from everything, based off what we've heard about Doom in this movie, like, he's clearly lost family.
Yes.
So has Wanda.
Yep.
And what did Wanda do when she lost her family? She started exploring other universes and exploring the multiverse. And, like, that is enough to, and also the Darkhold, and that is something that can easily twist Victor Von Doom.
The only thing that messes me up with that is the armor. You know, like, I don't know how the corpse would have that armor if he's walking with Tony Stark's body, but
He just built it.
yeah, but who knows? Like, it just gets me so excited to see him with that book, and I don't even care that it's a Hot Toys. Like, there's one where the one photo he has it tucked under, and then one photo it's like completely open, and you see his hands like this, and it's still just a figure, but it's like, oh my God, if this happens in the movie, I don't even know what I would do.
Okay. One of the other things, I'm going to skip the suit because I feel like we're going long.
Yeah.
One of the other things that was kind of hinted at during this San Diego Hall H panel was Robert Downey Jr. kind of hinted at having to choose sides, having to choose the sides of, like, the good guys or Doom.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously we kind of knew that was going to be the case. We had kind of speculated, but, like, the way that he talked about it made it seem like some of the heroes were going to choose his side. And I'm curious what you think.
That's an interesting way of looking at it because I didn't look at it. I thought he was specifically talking to the audience. Like, you're going to have to choose, like, almost like Civil War, like Cap or Iron Man. Like, are you going to, everyone's going to have a point in this movie? Like, Doctor Doom just wants to save I still am of that belief that he just wants to save the universe. And so I think that's what he was hinting at to me. It's like, are you going to join the heroes and just blindly be a good guy? Or are you going to join the family of Doom and actually, like, save the universe?
He did use the word family specifically, which I think is interesting because based on the other poster that we got a week prior to San Diego, we did see, like, a mom or, like, at least a mother and a child. We don't know if that's his wife. We don't know if that's his mother.
Yeah.
The comics line up with that being his mom, but also, like, it seems like it could be his kid and his family. We also heard some of the footage, or in the footage that was shown at Hall H, we also got to hear both Sue and Reed Richards kind of talking to Doom and being like, you lost your family. We didn't think you were going to go this crazy. And, like, there's a lot to chew on there. And I don't know if we're going to get an alternate reality where, like, Doom had a wife and kids here. I kind of hope not.
Yeah, no, I hope not either. Especially if, they are going to follow Secret Wars and he's going to end up with Sue and everything. Like, I feel like you need to just keep him one track, Like, the only thing he really is obsessed with is just wanting Mr. Fantastic's life. You know? Like, I think that's the better route. Do
you think maybe he got a vision of a world where, like, he was married to Sue and Franklin was his kid, and that's what he's upset about?
It could be. I look at it more as the witches. Like, when he says family of Doom, I wanted, real quickly, I thought of, what's his name, Christopher or whatever, like, his son.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe, because, I mean, he does play a role in New Avengers, but
I don't need that.
Like, probably not. I looked at it as the witches of Doom, and it's like, those three are going to be his family in this movie and are I think they're going to be playing major keys in this movie.
Yeah. I also like the idea that like him saying family over and over again is the same way that like a cult leader would.
Yes.
And he is building a cult.
Oh my God. It reminded me so much, especially because I'm rereading Ultimate Fantastic Four. I mean, his first arc when he's just in the streets of Latveria, that's his whole motto. MO is like, we're family now, and it's all because of me. Like,
It's very big
I've
tech.
saved you.
Like, guys, we're all family. Welcome to the family.
Exactly. So that was insane. There was a quick moment where Kevin Feige confirmed that Vision Quest is going to wrap up this Wanda storyline,
Trilogy, yeah.
which, in my head, I thought that was just a fan thing,
Yeah.
calling it a Wanda trilogy. Like,
No, it's definitely been a thing for a minute. I think if anything, it's weird that the same creative teams for Agatha and WandaVision aren't on this one.
yeah.
Um,
I know, it doesn't really seem like it's a Wanda show.
No, I think if anything, it's obviously continuing the story of their family. Like we've gotten confirmation that we're going to get, all these different characters in Vision Quest, like, Ultron coming back. We're going to get all the other AIs like Jarvis coming back. Jacosta's in it. And I'm curious because they took so
I
much.
think even their son was confirmed to be in it.
Yeah.
Not Tommy, or was it Tommy?
It is Tommy.
It is
Because
Tommy?
the other one's
Billy?
Billy, yeah.
Yeah.
So Tommy is confirmed to be in this show, and like, I honestly the biggest mystery that I have is they took so much from the Vision comic book series by Tom King and put that into WandaVision.
Yes.
That like, I'm curious how much of that is going to be in this show.
I feel very little.
Yeah, but like at the same time, it seems like he's building a family. Like we're getting a Jocasta, and like. Not that Jocasta was in that book, but like he did build a wife in that.
Right. I mean, he has a wife and 2 kids in that, and a whole dog and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like,
R.I.P. Sparky.
yeah, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
Obviously, and then just merge Ultron and Jocasta into that story. It really, when you think of where White Vision ended off and how he's really not that similar to Vision, like very serious and more robotic. Like I can't. It would be whiplash the next time we see him. He's living
A whole new life.
Yeah, he's got like the nice sweater vest on, and he's completely accepted his role and stuff like that. Like,
no, I think that
this
show is
show's got to start dark and stuff like that.
This show is very much a show that's going to be about Vision finding his humanity.
Right.
And so like I do think that those elements of him almost like redoing what Wanda did in I can't remember the name of the Jersey. City.
Yeah. Shit.
Westview.
Yeah.
Like I could see him do his own version of Westview, but like not obviously controlling an entire community, but
Maybe
rather
with AI, just all on the computer.
building his entire family to kind of help him find that humanity. I can see it.
It's a little lame.
It's just a little bummer that some of those notes had been hit already in WandaVision.
Like I don't think it would really hit the same, especially because WandaVision did it so iconically.
Yeah. I am kind of, so like we're obviously talking about like all the big announcements that happened at San Diego Comic-Con for Marvel, but like I am curious, like this was the first time where we didn't get like, or not the first time, but like we didn't get like we're going to talk about some of the other announcements that they made here, but like we kind of galaxy brained our ideas and what we wanted from this Hall H panel, and we talked about getting that timeline again in the different phases, and like obviously that's not here, but like I think kind of seeing the announcements and hearing the announcements talking about Vision Quest made me feel a little bit more like the MCU's kind of not falling apart, but almost like spreading a little bit, where like I know that they kind of want to do this where you don't have to watch everything in order to know what's going on, but this was the first time where it felt a little disjointed to me.
The Vision Quest thing was weird because obviously neither of us were there, and it got no coverage.
Yeah.
It got like one tweet just confirming that it's going to be a part of the Wanda series and stuff like that, but you're right. And I kind of thought they wouldn't do any TV yesterday.
That's what we were told. Like, it was only going to be movies.
Right, and especially because D23 is like around the corner. Like, I thought that would be the time to talk about Vision Quest and Daredevil and all that kind of stuff. So just announcing it did make it feel weird.
If anything, I do think that like Marvel Studios is very aware of the Wanda hype, and I think that that's why they said this.
Oh yeah.
Like they were very much just like,
They saw a million cosplayers going up to that Latvian witch
Yes.
saying, making videos being, look, it's Wanda, it's
and
Wanda.
like I truly think that this was them being like, we haven't forgotten about Wanda. Don't worry. Like
Right.
we're still gonna finish that story. Like if you
Right.
and like almost like pointing people in that direction, being like, hey, like this is why I'm still like she's not in Doomsday. Because,
Next
like,
year is Wanda's year at Comic-Con.
I agree.
I know that. Like,
But like I see this as them being like, she's not in Doomsday, but like if you want more Wanda in that story, Vision Quest is here. That's the way that I took it.
I see that. I could see that. I just I don't think Marvel thinks that way.
Okay.
I think that was just we got to run through everything that we have coming out in the next couple months, because I don't think they panic like that. Like I don't think they really see, or at least like when it gets up to these final days, like I don't think they really panic. They're solidified in what they're going to talk about. You know, I think that's why Vision Quest got so little coverage.
See-
is because they don't really know how big Wanda is to their fan base.
I think they know. I think they weren't expecting people to glom onto those like Latvian witches and be like Wanda, Wanda, Wanda. The other thing too is like I'll push back because like obviously like I worked for Marvel and I don't want to get into too much of that, but like there's been like Hall H panels where like minutes before they make an announcement, it's like, oh, they pivot because they just signed someone. Like there's like a famous story of Mark Ruffalo like signing on to play the Hulk for the Avengers.
Yeah.
And like that happened like minutes before he went on stage. And it's like I can see a lot of, I mean, like the panel started late, obviously because of the previous panel went a little bit long, but there was still this kind of, at least for me, it felt like they were kind of, because it didn't feel as like cohesive as the previous ones.
Yeah.
And like it made me think that like, oh, they're just kind of like, what can we say, what can we do, what can we talk about? And to me that was a reaction to the Latvian witches.
If that's true, then they have nothing for Wanda in the roster. Like there's nothing coming.
That's kind of why I'm like, I don't think she's in Doomsday.
Right. Like if that logic of thinking is correct, which it does sound believable, like yeah, Wanda's not showing up in anything ever again until we reboot.
But you know who is showing up in the MCU?
Who?
Ryan Gosling.
No!
As the Ghost Rider.
That is insane. This is one of those like John Krasinski level fan castings, and I just can't believe it's real. Like it actually blew my mind that they announced that.
It's been like one of those like, yeah, like we've been wanting this. People like he's been talking about it. People have been fan casting him. It's a great cast.
Yeah.
Casting. I like it didn't hit me until I saw him on stage.
Even then, it didn't really hit me. I don't think it's gonna hit me until I see set photos or the first trailer. Like it is so hard. Even thinking about it now, like I can picture him, I guess, in the leather outfit and stuff, head on fire skull, and then it turns off and it's Ryan Gosling. I'm having trouble picturing that.
Okay, let's get into this one because this is probably the one that I have the most questions about. Obviously, like they didn't give us a lot of information on it, but it's being directed by Sean Levy, who
we could talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But the thing that I want to first talk about is this movie is hitting theaters in 2028.
Supposedly.
The timeline to me is very confusing because obviously we haven't like talked about anything coming after Secret Wars up until now. And like there's been all this talk about potentially rebooting the universe and like restarting, and like this and the other announcement that we're going to get to in a little bit. Like I have so many questions about like what are we doing, like what's going on, why is this one of the first movies that we're getting out, like, you know, after Secret Wars? Like is he in, you know, Doomsday, or is he in Secret Wars? Is that why we needed to get this announcement out now?
To me, yes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think that's the most obvious thing for me.
Yeah, I think he'll be a nice little tease in Doomsday or Secret Wars.
Because there was no reason to announce Ghost Rider.
No, if anything, I could see it. They're showing a whole bunch of multiverse stuff in Doomsday, and he's a quick little moment, and then it's like, oh, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, but the other announcement that we're going to talk about in a bit that they also announced, that solidified in my head they are doing a new timeline after Secret Wars.
I agree. So the other thing that we're going to talk about is David Johnson being cast as T'Challa Jr.
Yeah.
in in Black Panther 3.
Yes.
This
That is such a time skip from the last time we
huge.
saw this
We're talking
kid.
like 20 years.
Yeah, so if it's not a full-blown reboot after Secret Wars, it's at least a time mess up.
Yeah.
Like they're switching something around.
I think it's like some type of like time scale-y thing. One, because they also had Letitia Wright out there, and I can't remember his name, but the guy who plays M'Baku in Black Panther. They had them both out there, and like, if you're gonna have them, like, unless they also jumped 20 years, like,
Yeah.
There were so many questions there where it's like, okay, this scaling isn't adding up quite just right, but also like they made such a point to be like, this is T'Challa Jr.
Yes.
And like we're gonna continue that same storyline that we saw at the end of Black Panther 2, and
I mean, they even said that they're passing the mantle.
Yes.
Like Ryan came out and said, "Meet your new Black Panther."
Yeah.
Like insane.
And like, there's a world where they could have just been like, no, we're gonna reboot after Secret Wars, and you know, T'Challa's alive again, and
Yeah.
he's just cast as a new person.
Right.
And they were like, no, this is the same one that you saw. This is Toussaint, you know, from Wakanda Forever, and now he's just aged up. And I'm like, okay, cool. What is going on here? Is he going to be, and again, like similar to Ghost Rider, where I'm like, if we're making this announcement now, is he showing up in Secret Wars?
For the Black Panther one, I definitely think Secret Wars, because again, that's just going to be a weird. If it's like the comics, it's going to be a weird, meshed up version of all
Battle World.
Yeah, like Battle World, where it's just all these different pieces of all these different universes kind of put together to make something. So yeah, maybe he's from a different timeline where it's a couple years in the future, because that actor is 30. He's over 30, and it's just like. The last time we saw T'Challa Jr., he was maybe 8.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like,
No, he was like 5.
yeah, even younger.
Yeah.
Like, I'm being generous with the age with it. But so, this just confirms something comes after Secret Wars where they're merging the timelines together. Maybe it does something to everyone's time where some people get aged up, some people get aged down, some people are whole new recasted actors, you know? But that was like a very... why reveal this now?
Yeah, that's the biggest question that I had walking out of these, like both Ghost Rider and Black Panther, where I'm like don't get me wrong, like I'm excited for both of these.
Yeah.
And I can't wait, but I'm also like, there had to have been a reason why you're revealing this now. And to me, it is that they are in one of these movies, or we're going to see parts of it in, you know, Secret Wars or whatever. The other thing too is like Kevin Feige has talked about how like this isn't going to be a reboot.
Yeah.
It's going to, he keeps saying,
Well, he
that,
keeps saying like, but if you've read Secret
Yeah.
Wars, like, you know, you have an idea of what's
Yes.
coming, and it's like, okay,
but here's the thing that I want to
That's
talk
a
about.
reboot.
Yeah. And like, but like the thing that bugs me is like when he says that, like he doesn't explain it.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you have read the comics, one of the things that I remember during that era of Secret Wars after Secret Wars was they kept on hitting it, and all the marketing was, you know, not only is the Ultimate Universe dying,
Yeah.
but so is the 616. Like I'll never forget. There was a black page, like it was like an ad that was like, "This is the end of the 616. This is the end of the Ultimate." Or no,
1610.
it first said 1610. It was like,
Yeah.
"This is the end of the 1610." Like it's no more. But they said the same thing for 616, and the idea was that we were going to move on from the 616 universe.
Right.
That the main continuity was going to be one new, you know, timeline with a new universe number, but then they ended up just kind of like yada yadaing that apart and
Right.
being like, just kidding, it's
Miles!
just 616 and we got Miles over
Yeah,
here now.
yeah.
And like, but like, I do think that that is the roadmap. Like you
Of
yada
course.
yada it and you say like, oh, we're actually gonna make a new universe, but then
Yeah.
it's still the same 616 universe. It's just like with
what
a
are you
couple
gonna
added
do?
parts.
Yeah, it's like, okay, Tom Holland's here, but now we have Miles. Okay,
Yeah.
Tom Holland is here, but now we have a new Cap. Now we have a new Iron Man. Like, Thor's the same. You know, Like, I think they have the opportunity to do what James Gunn said he was going to do when he rebooted the DCU, where it's like, keep who you want, add new ones who you want, you know, recast who you want. You basically have the opportunity to do your perfect MCU after Secret Wars.
Yeah.
And, you know, who knows how it's actually going to play out. But I hope we get to keep some actors, and I hope we get, you know, characters back in here again. Because obviously I don't think anyone could do Steve or Iron Man better than what we have right now.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's just because we've known them for so long.
Yeah. I I'm optimistic, obviously. Like I do hope that we can get some new blood in here and we can see new takes on these characters. And I do think that post Secret Wars is the perfect time to do that. I just think that I'm still just baffled with Ghost Rider and Black Panther being the first two that are coming after that movie.
Yeah, I know. And it just blows my mind because at the same time this week they confirmed that the Blade movie has officially been canned. And it's just like, why, you give us two positives with Black Panther and Ghost Rider, but we can't get a Blade movie?
Yeah. That's...
I saw Kevin say he beats himself up because he didn't just want to put someone in a leather jacket and kill vampires. And the immediate internet response was like, that's all we want. Like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you making this more difficult than it has to be? Like, you had the perfect actor in the perfect time period of the MCU to keep it fresh and keep it going, and you fumbled.
Yeah.
Like,
that's...
The only thing we'll ever have from Blade is the fucking logo. Like, that's disappointing. That's really disappointing.
We did get Wesley Snipes, which is crazy. That was not on my bingo card.
And the fact that his line actually works now.
I don't like that.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that. That was supposed to be a stick it to this old man, line. You know, like he's going to eat this in a couple years.
Yeah.
But nope, only ever going to be one Blade. Like, so ridiculous.
Crazy. Okay, so let's talk about Sean Levy because... I mean, look, if you look at his track record for movies, he tends to go more comedy than action. Like, there are some action stuff in there. There is action stuff in his there is action movies in his portfolio, but at the same time, he
loves to riff.
Yeah, he loves to riff. All his movies are very wacky, very out there, and outside of Stranger Things,
and he's barely Stranger Things at this point.
I know, but it's it feels like such an odd pick here. Because Ghost Rider, I guess it depends on which Ghost Rider they go with, but I can't imagine they're not doing Johnny Blaze to begin with.
I know.
And
I mean this in the nicest way. Sean is giving me, what was it, Matt whatever, the original director for Fantastic Four? No, John Watts?
Yeah, no, John Watts.
No, Matt is the director of Fantastic Four. Who was originally supposed to do it? John Watts? I think it was John Watts, but this Sean Levy announcement is giving John Watts Fantastic Four for me. I think he might get swapped out.
I could see that.
I think he was the foot in the door to get Ryan and Marvel in a room together and actually make this work, because even in that announcement video, he was like, Ryan and I were just riffing, and then one day we thought, let's just do it, And it's like, isn't that such a nice way to live?
Yeah, I don't know. I can see that.
Can he do a ghost? This is Ghost Rider is dark.
It's dark. And here's my thing: is you could do a lighter version of Ghost Rider, because there are campy Ghost Rider stories. Don't get me wrong. I don't want that.
No,
I don't think most people want that. I don't think people think that when they think of Ghost Rider. But
I see the one where he's he travels through time with the young baby Thanos. That's a Sean Levy one.
If we get Cosmic Ghost Rider before any of these other Ghost Riders, I will riot.
But that's the one I could see Sean Levy handling, because that has plenty of comedy.
And I don't want that.
No.
And that's the other thing that gets me about this is Blade isn't happening, but Ghost Rider's happening. And it's they're both obviously in the same corners of the MCU and the comics universe, but especially Ghost Rider in the most recent years, his comic book stories have been so brutal and so just horror filled, and a lot of that is Benjamin Percy. Shout out to Ben Percy who's writing those comics, but that's what I think they want to hit, and especially because
that's what you think Marvel or the MCU?
I think Marvel wants to hit that because they don't have a lot of
Marvel.
horror.
I don't think that's what the MCU wants.
I think that's what they want, because the other thing too is the Hulk in the past, I almost want to say 5 years, has also been a horror comic, and I see the reverse of Savage Hulk, or Professor Hulk to Savage Hulk, as a way to try to get into the Immortal Hulk stuff, because
that would be cool.
That stuff is so rich. There's so much stuff that you can do there. There's so many things you can explore there, and that's something that the MCU hasn't really touched. And
the Green Door shows up in Brand New Day.
Honestly, at this point, I'll take it, because if we can get Immortal Hulk in the MCU, I'll do whatever it takes to get that. I don't think obviously that's gonna happen, but
no.
To me, it's just that's clearly where if you want to tell these stories. I mean, Ironheart was a pivot in this direction too, where it's like
True.
they're trying to get the horror aspects of it. Like Werewolf by Night was also part of this, and it's like every single time that they've done it, they've tried to go down the horror aspect. Like they kind of like don't follow up on it, and that's my biggest worry here with Ghost Rider is like if we're gonna do it, let's do it. Like let's go all out. I don't want this campy Ghost Rider. I don't want Cosmic Ghost Rider yet. Like obviously those stories are fun for a reason, but like that to me is a what if story. Like that can be done right there and then. I need the gritty horror Ghost Rider, and I don't know if Sean Levy's the person to do it.
No, it sucks because Sean has power.
Yeah.
You know, he got Marvel to make their first rated R movie. He now got Ryan Gosling to sign on to the MCU. He clearly knows how to work with Marvel and like
And
get them
Disney.
to and Disney and get them to budge on things that they typically wouldn't budge on. So if anyone has the capability to tell Disney we're gonna go like balls to the wall horror with this, it's him. But at the same time, I don't know if he can do horror.
I don't know
Again,
either.
like that's the biggest problem. Stranger Things season 1 definitely has some creepy and horror elements to it, but like I still wouldn't call it a horror. I'd call it like a thriller,
Yeah.
And one of the things that I love about Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider, for whatever you want to call them, is when the horror elements get turned up, they get turned up. Like that first transformation scene is iconic for a reason.
Hell yeah.
And I just can't see Disney or Sean being like, oh yeah, let's show Ryan Gosling's like skin melting off, and
I think we're gonna get that for sure. Like I think especially
don't
because
know.
like
I just don't see it being darker than what like Nicolas Cage has already done.
Yeah.
Like that. I think that's the problem.
I can see that. I just like Ghost Rider is a vehicle for that horror corner of the Marvel universe, and like if you don't use it to your advantage, then like it
Well, you just kind of see what Deadpool and Wolverine did. Like, yes, it's rated R. It doesn't feel like it, besides the blood that shows up.
Do
like
you
that
think Ghost
final-
Rider is going to be rated R?
If anyone can, like, you would think.
You
like,
would
Sean,
hope.
Sean Levy is the Marvel
Yeah.
R-rated director, and it's like, yeah, like you sign him on to do Ghost Rider. Yeah, I'm expecting an R-rated Ghost
Yeah.
Rider. Like, if you get Sean Levy to do an R-rated Deadpool movie, but not Ghost Rider, the wires are getting mixed up, Because if anyone, like Deadpool can pull off a PG-13 movie much easier than a Ghost Rider movie can.
I mean,
Like,
but we've seen PG-13 Ghost Riders.
and it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like, besides Nicolas Cage carrying that shit, they're not great movies.
I still get chills whenever I see that bike go up the building.
It's
so
so good.
so good.
It is so good. The costume design in that movie is great. I will say that.
All right, so obviously San Diego Comic-Con is in the past.
Yeah.
And this week we have brand new date debuting. I am so excited. I already got my tickets. I'm probably going to see this movie at least 3 times this weekend. Like, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm seeing it Wednesday and Thursday already.
I can't wait. All right. Before we let you go, final predictions.
I am so excited for this movie. I think it's going to be a 10 out of 10.
I think it's yes.
My final predictions are obviously going to be Sadie Sink as Jean Grey.
Yes.
Tombstone, I think, is definitely going to be like the final boss of this movie. And my big one is I think the Lizard is going to show up in this movie.
Ooh, interesting. Why do you say that?
Because who's the guy that's been doing the voiceover in the trailer? Keith Davis?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I think he's playing Professor Connors.
Keith Davis, not
Right?
You're talking about the guy from Severance?
The guy that's been doing the voiceover that says spiders like take on multiple forms or go through a sort of
Isn't that-
reincarnation.
Trammell?
No, that wasn't him. It was a different voice.
I'm so confused.
I'm pretty sure Keith Davis. Is that his name? I'm pretty sure he was in the trailer doing a voiceover only.
Are you talking about Keith David?
Am I saying Davis? Yeah, Keith Davis.
Like the big black dude? This dude? This old dude?
Yeah. He did the voiceover in.
Did he really? I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yes. So I think we haven't seen his character, but
Okay.
he did voiceover in the first trailer.
Okay.
And so I think he's the Lizard.
Okay, interesting. All right, I like that.
That went a little off the rails, but yeah.
Okay, so I also believe that Sadie Sink is Jean Grey.
Let's go.
Tombstone's obviously a big part of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that he's the big bad. I still am holding out hope for Mr. Negative.
Mm.
I think Zendaya in that suit was listen, her and La Roche can do no wrong in my book, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And like that to me was a massive hint. I think we're gonna start setting up for like a gang war, and I think that that's what we're getting here.
Okay, all right, and I'll leave you with one more. Do you think we're getting Man Spider? Final prediction.
I don't think so.
No.
I think we might get a version of it.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll get the full spider. I think that is something that I think a lot of people obviously want because of the cartoon.
Yeah.
But I think we're probably going to get closer to 6-arm Spider-Man with just like the extra 2 arms versus the full spider.
That's what I'm
evolution.
thinking too. At first, I really thought they were gonna do Man Spider, but I think test audiences would hate that. Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine anyone would actually like to see a giant walking Man Spider.
Yeah.
It's real. It was gross in the animated show, so it's probably gonna be awful in live
I also
action.
think it's creepier and like almost more entertaining to not get the full reveal, almost like a werewolf reveal where it's like you
True.
get like elements of it,
Yeah.
and you see like, you know, out of the corner of your eye you see like an arm or something. Like that to me is more terrifying.
Yeah.
If the Odyssey has taught me anything, I'm like, I want more practical and more like, you know,
True.
very creative special effects, and like I really
True.
hope they're doing that. I had something else for Brand New Day and I totally forgot what it was.
Well, while you think of that, my final rating before I see the movie is a 10 out of 10. I'm going in with the highest expectations for this movie.
So am I.
And I think it's going to deliver on every front. And obviously, we'll be giving our full real reviews next week after the movie releases. But my prediction is that it's going to be the best Spider-Man movie ever made, and that it's going to be a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll co-sign that. I think the hype is real for this one. I think we're getting some of the most street level Spider-Man ever. I also think we're getting a more mature Spider-Man. Here's what my final prediction is, and this is probably like my Hail Mary.
Okay.
We're gonna get the symbiote suit.
Ooh, I think that'll be teased. I think that's a Secret Wars thing, though.
I think it's definitely a Secret Wars thing. I think this is gonna be the setup for it, though.
Okay, well, my final prediction is I think he dies in this movie.
I was gonna say the same thing. That man is dead. That is
Yeah.
a dead man walking.
Yeah. There's only one reason you don't put him in the Avengers movie, and that's because he's dead.
I agree.
But thank you guys so much for watching. It was an incredible week. Doomsday and Comic-Con, they keep us going. They give us life. But obviously, Spider-Man drops this week. We hope you guys enjoy it and love it as much as we hopefully will.
Yeah. And obviously we couldn't cover everything that came out of San Diego Comic-Con. So if there's anything that you want us to talk about or are really hyped about, drop a comment. Let us know what you think.
Absolutely. But until then, we'll see you next weekend. Peace.
Bye.